While I was restocking the pharmacy alone on clothes, my favorite regular grabbed my wrist and pulled me toward the back aisle. When the lights change color, we need to be in the stockroom. Nowhere else is shielded. Her name was Adele, late 60s, cardigan, the same blood pressure prescription every Monday for the 6 months I'd worked evenings there. Always had a butterscotch candy for me, called me sweetheart. I'd have sworn she couldn't hurt a fly. I laughed a little. Shielded from what, Adele? She didn't laugh back. She glanced up at the fluorescent panel above the counter, then at the front door and said quietly, "They're testing the towers again, the frequencies. I worked communications for the government for 30 years, and I know what these buildings do to people when they flip the signal." My stomach tightened. Should I turn off the lights? Won't matter. It's not the lights, it's what's behind them. She reached into her purse and let me see the edge of something wrapped in foil. I came prepared this time, and I've got someone watching the parking lot. That man by the ATM. He's with me. I looked. There was a man in a windbreaker leaning against the machine, doing nothing in particular, which at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday meant nothing and also meant everything. "Adele," I said carefully, "if something's wrong, I should call someone. There are other customers here." There were exactly two. A man buying cough syrup and a teenager waiting on a prescription. Her whole demeanor shifted. The soft candy offering warmth drained out, and what replaced it unsettled me more than anything she'd said. "You call anyone and you'll trigger it early. I've spent years building the shielding around this block. Do you understand what you'd undo?" Her hand tightened around whatever was in the foil. I set my phone face down on the counter, hand not quite steady. "Okay," I said. "Okay, I just don't want anyone getting hurt tonight, Adele, especially you." Something in her seemed to loosen. Her shoulders dropped, her voice cracked. "Nobody's said that to me in years," she said. "That's why I come here. You still look at me like I make sense." She turned to watch the parking lot, jaw tight, foil packet still in her fist, and told me that if the frequencies got her tonight, at least she'd go out having warned someone, instead of disappearing quietly in an apartment where nobody would check on her for days. I couldn't hold it together any longer. I mumbled something about checking the register tape, walked to the back office, and told my manager, Priya, everything in one breathless sentence. Government testing. The man by the ATM, foil in her purse. Priya stopped mid-count. "Cardigan? Butterscotch candies?" "Yes, hurry." She closed the drawer, walked me to the pass-through window, and pointed. "That's Adele Fenwick. She worked in a school cafeteria for 28 years, not communications. The man by the ATM is Marcus. He works the night shift at the gas station across the street and takes his break there every night at 9. Has for years. And whatever's in that foil is probably her lozenges. She wraps everything in foil, always has." I stared at her. She threatened me. Priya's face softened. Her husband passed in the spring. She had a hard stretch after, some hospital time. Most nights, she's completely herself. Some nights, especially close to certain dates, the story comes back. The towers, the signals, someone watching. Her son asked us months ago to call him directly if it happens, not the police. Police showing up makes it worse for her. She pointed to a number taped under the register, her son's cell. 15 minutes later, a man in a work fleece came through the door, sat down beside her at the little pharmacy waiting bench, and said, "Hey mom, heard it's a rough one tonight." She looked at him for a long moment, and I watched the entire constructed danger of the evening fold quietly back into itself. "Just keeping watch," she said, suddenly smaller than she'd seemed all night. He mouthed thank you to me over her shoulder and picked up her refill. "She still comes in every Monday. I keep a butterscotch ready at the register before she even asks, so the foil stays folded in her purse where it belongs. When she calls me sweetheart, I call her Miss Fenwick, and some nights, that's the whole job." Honestly, she was right about one thing. Something in that building really was worth paying attention to. It just wasn't the lights.